Earlier this year, the city of Whitewater cited out-of-town people who do not respect the city or the community as the reason for pulling the sponsorship of Spring Splash this year. Turns out that claim can't really hold water. Or, whatever you put in these cups.
An independent review of the City of Whitewater police reports from the past 4 Spring Splash events show that UW-Whitewater students have been found to be directly responsible for more than 40% of incidents from the day. The city released a clarifying statement following a common council meeting where alderpersons were at odds with one another over Spring Splash. The City of Whitewater recognizes that most of the negative behavior that occurred last year was not from Whitewater students. So let's break down the numbers. Reported incidences spiked in 2015. UW-Whitewater students were directly involved in 18 of the 44 incidences reported. Out-of-town visitors could only be identified in 5 of those events. The additional 20 incidences in 2015 were either too vague or included no identifications to confirm who was at fault. In 2016, however, Spring Splash crime incidences rose to 67 cases. UW-Whitewater students were responsible for 27 of those events, while out-of-town visitors were only responsible for 13. An additional 28 cases were again too vague to determine fault. Because so many of the police reports were vague in their descriptions, and UW-Whitewater students can be identified to have consistently made up more than 40% of all crime, it's unlikely that every single one of those attributed reports could be the fault of out-of-towners. The reason why the city claimed the chaos came from visitors is well-meaning. They personally see the positivity the student community brings to the city, especially after an event like Spring Splash. City Manager Cameron Clapper.
I guess in part, it's an assumption based on experience.
Clapper spoke of his experience of seeing UW-Whitewater students cleaning up the community the next day.
Those are indicators to me, as well as discussions I've had with student government and other members of the student community, that, much like I would expect from the people I see on campus every day, it's not our own people that are going crazy and throwing things at police officers and putting people in danger.
Alderperson Stephanie Gadel isn't blaming any particular group of people for the Spring Splash chaos that occurred last year, but notes that large groups of people tend to breed trouble.
I certainly am not here to say that every single bad thing that day was someone who wasn't from Whitewater, but I do certainly think when you double or triple the number of people, it's always going to contribute to an increase in chaos.
Reporting from the city of Whitewater, I'm Kimberly Wethel.